Hey guys, it's Trey back again with another video. And in the last video, we updated our create request to be a save request, and now it handles both creating tickets and updating tickets. So in this video, I want to continue on and do our delete function. So we want to create a function that will delete a ticket for us through the UI. But before we get to doing that, we have a couple of cleanup things I want to go ahead and get done. Some things that we probably should have already did, but you know, let's just go ahead and do them now. So first thing we need to do is go to our ticket form, and where we were setting these values here in the use effect block, what we're going to do is we're going to add a default value for our summary because I forgot to do that last time. So we'll just set it to be nothing. So our default value will be just an empty string. All right, so that will reset our summary as well. Just forgot to do that. Next up, we need to actually change this value for our update date. So it's saying create date. We want it to say update date here. So if you scroll down to where we have our update date in the body of our component here, you'll see we've changed that from create to update. So now to say update date instead of create date in that form. And the last thing we want to do is here when we're trying to do our action on the form, we want to change this update date because right now we're just passing in whatever the old update date was, and that's not actually putting a new update date in here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change this to a new date. So we're going to say new date, and then we'll say to string. All right. So this is going to create us a new date every time we submit this form. So anytime we do something with the form, we'll change that update date. So now we'll still have the create date, but this will be whenever the last time we did something to this ticket was. All right. So that will be pretty much it for that. Now we can go ahead and get into creating our delete function. So if we go back to our app.js file, the way we'll do this is we will scroll down to where we have our list of tickets. So we have our tickets map, and then we're listing out the ticket information. Underneath the last value, which is this update date, we're going to go ahead and put in a button. So I'm going to say button. We're going to say delete. And this button is going to have an on-click function that we're going to attach to it. And inside of here, we're going to call a function called send delete request. And then we're going to pass in the ticket here. All right. So we're going to send a delete request for this ticket. Okay. So this function doesn't exist yet. So we're going to go up here and create it. So I'm going to go up underneath our send save request. We're going to add this in. So right above the use effect block, we will have our send delete request. So it's going to be a function, an async function. Don't forget that. And then we're going to pass in a ticket. All right. And then inside of here, what we're going to want to do is we're going to first make sure that the ticket is valid. So we're going to say if the ticket doesn't have an ID, so if we can't find the ticket ID, then we are going to just return out of this function, okay? And then we're going to actually send off the delete request if the ticket is valid. So we're going to say result here. This is what we'll get back. And then we're going to await delete ticket. Make sure that you come up to the top and import that from our ticket service. So I'm going to scroll back down. Here we go. So we call this and we'll pass in ticket.id. All right, so now we have that. Let me go up here and fix this issue. I forgot to add in the arrow function there. All right, cool. So we're going to get the result from this delete ticket. And after we get the result, we want to make sure that the result is not null. So we're going to say if not result. So if the result is null, then what we want to do is just return out of the function because we failed to delete the ticket. All right, but if it actually comes back, then we know that we have successfully deleted a ticket. So what we're going to do is we're going to say get all tickets once again to reload the tickets, and then we're going to set the current ticket to an empty object. So once we set this ticket to null, we should be good to go because when we get all the tickets, because after we delete it and we call get all tickets, it should reload all the tickets with that ticket removed. And then here, when we set the current ticket to nothing, it should just empty out that top form. So the form should be empty now, and it should have the default values. All right. So there's one other thing that we need to do, and that will be in the ticket service. So remember, in all the other functions that we updated so far, we added this block to check the status of the response. So we're going to do the same thing in delete. So I'm going to copy this from update. I'm going to scroll down to our delete ticket function in our ticket service, and I'm going to add that in, and then change that to delete. So it's the same type of thing. All right, and then we'll return null if it didn't. Otherwise, just return the response. All right. So that will handle a bad response from our API. And the last thing we need to do is actually make a change in our API. So if we go to our server.js file on in our backend code, we can scroll down to our, where's it at? The delete. Here we go. So find the delete function here, and then here, as you can see, we're returning a string. We don't want to just return a string. We want to actually return an object. So I'm going to convert this to say message. And it doesn't really matter because we're not really actually checking this value. But when we're trying to convert in our ticket service here, when we call this JSON, we need an actual object in there to actually, to check. So switch that from a string to an object. All right, and that will fix that issue. And I think we're done. We should be able to go ahead and delete tickets now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this code. So I'm going to go to my backend code first. I'm going to type in node server.js, and that'll start the backend API up. And then I'm going to come to the front end code, and I'm going to say npm run start, and this should start up a development server for us. And it does. All right, so here are the tickets we created before. So I'm going to click on this new ticket. So I clicked on it. As you can see, all this information pops up here, and then click delete. And as we can see, it disappears, and all of the information is emptied out. Okay. Also, you can see now that this is now changed to update instead of both of these saying create date. So we fix that, and now let's update a ticket to see if this date actually changes the way we just tried to set it. So I'm going to change this anything else. I'm going to change it back to anything, and then I'm going to set this to medium, and I'll say in progress. Hit save, and there we go. So we see the old dates there. Looks like it's wrong. It says 04. Oh no, there it goes. Oh, I don't know what happened. Huh. Okay. Well, the date here is right, and then we see that it changed to today's date. All right. So we are seeing those updates happen. And then it says anything medium in progress the way it was supposed to. All right. So now we see that everything's working the way it's supposed to. And that's pretty much it for this video. I guess in the next video, since we have all of our CRUD functionality working, we should be able to kind of restyle this into a more, just a better looking screen, I guess. So I guess we'll do a little bit of styling in the next video. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to the channel and all that jazz. And I will see you guys in the next